All right, let's go across to Maha Siddiqui, who joins us from the Supreme Court. Maha, the matter has been referred to a larger Supreme Court bench. That's the development for today on the National Judicial Appointments Committee.
That right now there was a 3 judges bench. The matter has now been referred to a 5 judges bench. That's the latest. In fact, I have with me lawyer Mr. R.K. Kapoor. Sir, what exactly has the court said today and what does it mean? What's the significance?
In fact, we had challenged the constitutional validity of National Judicial Appointments Commission Act as well as the Constitutional Amendment 120, Article 124A. We had taken the plea that both the Constitutional Amendment as well as the National Judicial Appointment Commission Act both are ultra-virus and liable to be struck down. Today, 3 judges bench have pronounced the order, and in that order they have pronounced that the matter should go to 5 judges bench. Because we had argued that under the Constitution, if the matter involves interpretation of the Constitution, then the matter has to be heard by a 5 judges bench, constitutional bench. That point has been accepted by the 3 judges bench and the matter has been referred to 5 judges bench.
Does it mean that the court upholds the maintainability of these petitions, or will the 5 judge bench decide that as well?
No, prima facie when the court has referred the matter to 5 judges bench, because maintainability even 3 judges could decide. So when they have not rejected the petition on the maintainability, it means they have referred the matter to the 5 judges to determine the constitutional validity of the National Judicial Appointment Commission Act as well as the Constitutional Amendment Act 124A.
So the government side argues that the job of the judges and the judiciary is to pronounce judgments rather than appoint brother judges. What is the counter argument to that really? Because many feel that the independence of the judiciary will not be hampered if the executive is part of the decision making.
No, the question is not whether executive should be a part of the decision making process or not. The question is where should be the predominant role. According to the Constitution, when there is a separation of powers between the executive and the judiciary, it means if there is something has to be concerned with the judicial administration, therefore naturally judiciary has to play a predominant role. This is why the Honorable 9 Judges bench had decided in 1993 and reiterated in 1998 that the Honorable Supreme Court of Chief Justice of Supreme Court of India must have a conclusive role, predominant role, and this is why now after this amendment, this act has come into force, act has been made, though it has not come into force, the predominant role of the Chief Justice has been diluted. This is why our ground was that since separation of judiciary has been affected and the basic feature of the Constitution is, basic structure is that the judiciary has to be independent of the executive. Therefore, it's not a question that whether executive should have a role or not. The question is where should be the predominant role. That should remain with the judiciary. This was our submission.
Okay, and the matter has now been referred to a 5 judge bench. Sanket, over to you.
All right, the matter, as Maha is mentioning, has been referred to a 5 judge bench. But Maha, would we be aware of what exactly happened in court today? Or it was just this, the court deciding that the matter needs to be addressed to a higher court? And also, what has really been the plea as far as all the PILs are concerned in this particular case?
Well, I'll put that question to the lawyer here itself. But Sanket, the matter came up at 10:30 and within a couple of minutes, the decision was given that from a 3 judge bench, the matter will now be looked at by a 5 judge bench. Sir, what we also want to understand is that what about all the PILs that were submitted in this case? Did the court have anything to say on that as well? Because within 2-3 minutes, we hear the court saying that the matter has been transferred to a 5 judge bench.
There were many petitions. One was Advocate on Record Association petition, another was R.K. Kapoor, myself, I had filed a petition. There were some other advocates also who had filed the petition. The court has taken the Advocate on Record as a lead case, and therefore the judgment has been pronounced in that case, which will be applicable to all the cases. Therefore now the Honorable Supreme Court has decided this issue to refer the matter to 5 judges bench. Therefore now further on, only 5 judges bench will decide regarding the merits of the constitutional validity of National Judicial Appointment Commission Act as well as the amendment of the Constitution 124A article.
So does it look like a tussle between the judiciary and the executive and even the parliament here? Because there is a sense that that the judiciary, the independence will not be hampered. As you were pointing out, the matter is about who takes the main decision as far as appointments of judges is concerned. That many feel doesn't get diluted by the NJAC.
No, you see, if you talk about the composition of the NGAC, this composition is like that: 3 honorable Chief Justice and 2 senior most penal judges, and thereafter there are three law minister and then 2 eminent persons.
Yes.
Now, as far as these 2 eminent persons are concerned, they are not jurists. So we don't know how would they be able to assess the capability and merits of the person who has to be elevated to the bench of the High Court or later on to the Honorable Supreme Court. And another thing is they have given a power that any 2 persons can veto. You see, they can put an obstacle in the, suppose some meritorious person is recommended by the Chief Justice and the Honorable 2 puny judges, then these 2 persons who are eminent persons, they can put a shackle there.
All
So
right,
that is
all right,
what
Sanket.
is
So
troubling.
clearly, that is the point of contention here. They feel that the judiciary's say in appointment of judges to higher judiciary will be diluted if the National Judicial Appointments Commission, which has been passed by Parliament but has still not come into force, if that comes into force, they feel that will be diluted.
All right, for the moment, the big breaking news story is that as far as the National Judicial Appointments Commission and all the PILs and their maintainability issue is concerned, that has been handed over from a 3-judge bench to a 5-judge bench. It has been sent to a larger bench of the Supreme Court.